Hello! I'm hoping I'm looking at the right place. This is Faith at Homestead. I am once again in my greenhouse next to my newly planted little Meyer lemon tree, and you can see in the back some salad greens are starting to come up. Happy Earth Day. I am here today because I've had something on my brain, and what little traffic I've had has seemed to appreciate my more rambly philosophical videos more than the slice of life ones, so here we go. I think that on Earth Day there's a reality that everyone wants to not virtue signal necessarily, but appear to be on the right side of the climate crisis and issue exhaustive lists of what everyone else should be doing to fight climate change, which is a worthy pursuit. But it's easy, I think, for those who are new to sustainability or already trying their best to not get overwhelmed by almost the guilt trip of here's all these things that everyone else is doing but you, and if you're not doing them, you are some kind of existential threat to the planet. So I want to challenge that in a few ways and offer what I hope is a more sustainable solution, because what we're staring down the barrel of is sustainability taken to an unsustainable level, which will shoot itself in the foot fundamentally. I think we're asking too much of individuals to be the solution when we do live fundamentally in a broken system. And we can fight the broken system, but it is not exclusively on the shoulders of the individual consumer to do everything right, because that's still not going to make the difference like a lot of greenwash marketing would lead you to believe. So what are some examples of unsustainable sustainability? I have a few from my personal experience. There was a time when I was living in a condo that did not have recycling pickup. And so I saved my own recycling. I would drive it to our local hazardous waste drop-off, but there is so much contamination of trash in that recycling that the only drop-off time was Wednesday and Friday, middle of the day, when people have work. And by the time you got there and they inspected all of your stuff, the bins were full. So I ended up driving around with a car full of recycling that I couldn't take anywhere for months, and I got in a car accident, and it looked like I had been like living in trash in my car, because it was everywhere that was not full of me and my person, it was full of my recycling that had backed up for months, and that's fundamentally unsustainable. I've recently tried to start sourcing locally, and that I really believe strongly in that, but it's also an enormous time sink, and I do work full time, and I have this to take care of. I have chickens to take care of. I'm trying to maintain my sanity as well. So there are some things that after a certain point, when I've tried to source them locally, I just have to go get them on Amazon, because that's where I can get them when I need them. And I try to give myself some lead time. I try to start looking well before I need things, but supply chain shortages are a thing, monopolies are a thing, and I was not going to cheap out on chicken feed just so I could say I got it locally, because they got it from some large manufacturer too. So all that is to say, and this goes back to, if you're not watching Park Rose Permaculture, go follow her right now and watch her most recent video on good, better, best. I think it's easy to, especially on Earth Day, tell yourself that you need to be doing the best to be doing your best, and that is untrue. Speaking from experience, our best is going to change according to our season of life and our circumstances and our finances and our bandwidth, and I think the best that anyone can do realistically from any starting place in any circumstance is titration. So what would that look like? That might be something like what I'm going to do in a minute. See if you can do the same load of laundry with either a slightly cooler temperature, like the next one down the dial, or a slightly shorter load, next one down the dial, or slightly less detergent, one at a time. And just pick your least load-bearing, least inconvenient resource pull in your life, and just see if you can stretch it a little bit further. So that could be laundry, that could be the dishwasher. Speaking of unsustainable things, in trying to crunchify my dish detergent and my laundry detergent, I have found that I have to use more water to get them clean, which kind of defeats the purpose. So I think it's well worth trying more sustainable solutions, but be leery of things that claim to be sustainable that end up taking more resources to do the same job as something unsustainable. I find I can get just as clean a load with two drops of Dawn dish soap in the laundry machine, actually, than the crunchy package-free dish detergent, and that'll go farther. So all that is to say, on Earth Day and otherwise, we have a right to exist and consume some resources as, species plopped here against our will. So I would just encourage some grace from the eco-guilt and the existential guilt of being part of the most extractive species on the planet at the moment, and find out what the best you can do today is with your circumstances and your resources, and be realistic. Be realistic about whether this green solution is actually saving resources, whether this lifestyle change is actually saving resources, and whether you can keep it up. If your sustainability is unsustainable, then it's unsustainable. It's unsustainability. So I'd encourage everyone to try for their 1% improvement that they can keep up that feels almost invisible to them and might not give you as many Earth Day good turn jollies as a bigger change is more conspicuous, but if everyone did that 1% change, we wouldn't need some individuals to make like sweeping overhaul lifestyle changes on everyone else's behalf. So happy Earth Day. Go find your one thing. Plant the 1 pack of seeds in your egg cartons. Take a 5-minute shorter shower. That's enough. It really is. Have a good one.